I was talking about this woman I saw we were in Venice a few months back, a beautiful young woman who was there with her friends. She was preening like a peacock for about 10 minutes, tossing her hair, pouting, turning her body in all sorts of different ways. And it was just, look at me, love me, I'm amazing. And her friends were there watching it, encouraging her. And I was saying to you, 20 years ago, we would have been laughed out of court for doing that. And I worry, and I think there's a serious side to this. I think there's a narcissism, a quest for perfection. And I just wonder, how are these people going to manage with growing old? And then there's the living in the moment, enjoying your holidays, enjoying a gig without, selfieing everything. Anyway, you accuse me of being like your dad.
I said, yes, Dad. Look, I think that we're looking at a different generation. They communicate. They live in they're digital natives. They live on social media. They communicate with their pals on social media, on Snapchat, on Insta, on all of those things. That's what they do. I don't think that it's like they don't ever enjoy anything. I think they do spend maybe 5 minutes or maybe even 15 minutes taking photographs.
Even longer.
Perhaps the people who spend longer, I suspect, are influencers and people like that actually have a role that's monetized on social media, and that is probably a bit like a job for them, kind of like being a model or something.
Well, not if Justine O'Mahony, her argument was she was beside a group of Irish girls at the pool and they spent the whole afternoon taking selfies.
Yeah, but you don't know necessarily whether or not they were influencers. I don't know either. All I'm saying is, I think older generations have always looked back on younger generations going, get off that radio, get off that television, you'll get square eyes. And this is kind of that same vibe that the youth of today. Socrates used to moan about the youth of today. Like this has just always ever been thus, that one generation looks at the other and goes, wrings their hands and goes, oh, you guys are going to mess up.
So no matter what they do, no matter how harmful it is, they
will all age. They will all be fine. They will get over there. Of course they will.
Will they? I'm not as confident. I think it does have an impact.
This is the fall of Rome.
I don't know about the fall of Rome. I worry about the level of narcissism involved, and I worry about the striving for perfection and filtering everyone. It's not real. It's not real. It's not false. Real.
But I think a lot of them know that too. I have 4 young people who live in my house, teenagers and young adults in their 20s, and they are not so narcissistic that they are going around unable to live in the moment. They do post pictures of themselves sometimes on social media. On Be Real is the current thing, and on other things like that. But they also have a perspective on things and a bit of relativity about all this stuff. And I just think that we can be very scaremongery about the fact that we see somebody taking a couple of selfies and the next thing we know,
more than a couple of selfies.
Everybody's a narcissist.
It's a bit more than